Hello there. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? You probably can. However, you probably didn't hear me a while back. That's because I turned my microphone volume to 0. Now, we hear things every day. Things our friends say, things our teachers or bosses say, or parents scolding you for stealing potato chips. Not applicable in all circumstances. But has anyone wondered how we hear? Phosphorus, radium, sodium, vanadium. PRaNaV Nr on your screen, and today let's talk, and of course hear, about the auditory system. This is Neurology episode 5. So, this video is mainly about how you can hear. But before getting into that, I want to give you a small little preamble. Now, hearing is a way more complicated process than you think it is. It took me a lot of time to read, again, not hear, but read and understand about hearing. I got my information from Kendall's Principles of Neural Science, Edition 4, Part 5, Chapter 30 and 31. That's right, 2 entire chapters dedicated just to explaining the process of hearing. And so, it will be very thoughtful of you to subscribe to the channel and help make further well-researched videos like this possible. Help me! My back! Okay, anyway. If engineers create prosthetic ears, is it called engineering? I mean, getting prosthetic ears costs up to $8,000 US, so unless you want to spend so much money, your ears are irreplaceable. Okay, fine, I'll stop. It is time to dive deep into your ear. Yeah, that sounded weird. Weird. Yeah, anyway, let's go step by step into understanding the auditory system. The ear has 3 parts: the outer, middle, and the inner ear. The outer ear consists of the auricle and the external auditory meters. The auricle is this thing over here, the visible outer part of the ear. The external auditory meters is commonly known as the ear canal, and it connects the auricle to the middle ear. And then we have the middle ear consisting of the tympanic membrane and 3 ossicles, the malleus, incus, and stapes. The tympanic membrane or tympanum is what's commonly known as the eardrum. As they always say, drumming too loud spoils the eardrum. That was a funny sound effect. That was uncalled for, but it was good. Interestingly, there's a canal that connects the middle ear and the throat, named the pharyngotympanic duct. Mouthful, right? Earful, right? Okay, never mind. The 3 ossicles are bones that let vibrations pass through to the inner ear. Lastly, the inner ear contains the cochlea and the cochlear nerve. Now this is the important part. Cochlea is derived from the Greek word kokkilos, meaning snail. Similarly, the cochlea is a snail-like structure. The cochlea contains a liquid called scale. If we take a close look at the cross-section of the cochlea, as you can see from a diagram from Principles of Neural Science, you can see that there are 2 membranes, the vestibular membrane or the Reisner's membrane, and the basilar membrane, separating the liquid into 3 parts: scala vestibuli, scala media, and scala tympani. If we take a closer look at this diagram, we can see the organ of Corti. This is a receptive organ, containing a specific type of receptor cells called hair cells. These hair cells are classified into inner and outer hair cells. When auditory information reaches the cochlea, the vibrations from the tympanum causes pressure differences between the scala tympani and the scala vestibuli. This causes the basilar membrane to move up and down. And since the organ of Corti is sandwiched between the basilar membrane on the bottom and the tectorial membrane on the top, the tectorial membrane also moves with the pressure differences. Now, all of this movement is detected by the hair cells. The inner and the outer hair cells then send this information to the spiral ganglion cells, which deposit in the cochlear nucleus, located in the brainstem. Excitatory and inhibitory neurotransmitters then do their job to carry the information through the brainstem to the inferior colliculus. Excitatory neurotransmitters, or excitatory cells in layman terms, excite different parts and pathways of the brainstem, while inhibitory neurotransmitters stop the information from transmitting any further. And this is what helps to control the auditory vibrations that are of too high or too low frequencies to be tolerated by your auditory system. Now, we do have to understand that majority of the information travels to the contralateral side, or the opposite side. This makes sure that even when one hemisphere of your brain or your brainstem is damaged, hearing would not be greatly affected. In the inferior colliculus, all the neural pathways converge. From there, some information is projected to the superior colliculus for visual processing so that your eyes can react to what you hear. Information in the superior colliculus is also used to initiate head movement in response to auditory information. Other cells in the inferior colliculus project to the medial geniculate nucleus in the thalamus, where auditory information is processed. From the MGN, information travels to the primary auditory cortex. From the auditory cortex, information travels through the ventral or the Watt pathway to the prefrontal cortex in the frontal lobe for cognitive purposes. Information also travels through the dorsal or the Ware pathway to the posterior parietal cortex in the parietal lobe for perception of the information, and then to the prefrontal cortex for cognitive purposes. And that's how we hear. Now, I might have spent 650 words explaining how the auditory system works and making awkward puns. But can you imagine that when I clap, information travels from your auricle through the brainstem, through the MGN, to your prefrontal cortex in the time of a clap? This is because listening is a very important skill. It is what makes sure you can improve your cognitive abilities. It is what makes you grow as a person. However, if one is deprived of this very important skill, they should never feel discouraged and think that this is the end of the world. People like Beethoven, Marley Madeline, and even Thomas Edison are all deaf people that have still managed to change the world. This shows that the most important skill to growth is actually perseverance. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this Neurology episode. Do check out other Neurology episodes in the Neurology episode playlist at the playlist section of this channel. Stay safe, stay alert, and always persevere. Peace.